Hello there. I am Lisa J. Stocks. Today I am here with You Learn with Robert and Prez the Investor for our dual stream chat on crypto investing, stock market. So guys, how are you today?
Can't
I'm
complain.
awesome. How are you, Miss Lisa?
I am fine. Prez, tell us a little bit about your channel.
On my channel, I basically my channel is basically geared towards new beginner investors and potential investors. What I basically do is I share a weekly portfolio update with a portfolio that I open specifically for my YouTube viewers. And I also stream live day trading on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:15 a.m.
All right. How about you, Robert? What goes on over at your channel?
What goes on my channel? Talk about stocks, crypto, and more. Pretty much post videos, not financial advisor giving investment advice, but post videos related to that topic. Same as press.
Okay. So were you watching the did you have a countdown clock set? Were you watching the Bitcoin halving last night? Did anybody check in on Larry Jones live stream last night? Robert, you giggled a little when I said that.
Yeah, I didn't get to check Larry Jones live stream, but of course, I definitely watched the halving. Always paying attention to what's going on with that.
Okay. How about you, Prez?
I was actually on Stock Mo's live stream. He did a pop up live stream before Larry came on,
Mhm.
and I had the countdown ticker on, and I dozed off. Next thing you know,
Okay.
I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, we lost Robert. I guess he'll get back when he can. So let's just chat a little bit while we're waiting. Oh, there goes Robert. He's back already. Let's see. Add to stage. Uh, so
It's storming
everybody,
here. I'm sorry, y'all.
all right. So I guess the topic that we wanted to, our main topic that we were going to talk about is, investing into crypto and our mindset and plan around it going forward. And would either of you want to talk a little bit about what the halving is and crypto cycles? Just low level for people that didn't even know that there are cycles to crypto.
Go ahead,
Robert, would
President.
you like to handle that one?
It's on you, brother. It's on you, brother. Go ahead, sir. You got
So
it.
basically, every 4 years, the ones that are being paid out for actually mining Bitcoin, the reward is cut in half from the previous cycle, and the amount of Bitcoin that is released into circulation is also cut in half. So that's basically what the Bitcoin mining is all about. The halving event is all about because it helps with curb inflation of the price of Bitcoin.
All right, thank you, Prez. So with what's going on with crypto as well as the market in general, just kind of pulling back. Let's chat about what our investing plans are going forward. I don't know if the connection's a little slow. How's it looking on your end?
Mine is looking fine.
Yeah.
It's raining over here and storming. So if you see something, it could potentially be on my end.
Okay. Ooh, we got to get your energy up, Robert.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. So, what I think I want to chat a little bit. Do you want to let's stick with crypto first. So, with crypto, and like Prez was just explaining about the cycles of crypto, there's usually an initial phase where there might be a pump up, profit taking, and then a cool down. Now I know we're not here to make any speculations on what the price may go up to and come back down to, but are either of you waiting for a cool down? I think Robert, you're always investing into Bitcoin long term. So it may not be as important to you to have a phase of cool down to build up your position. But what is your thoughts on what price it may cool down to in order to, get some more and build out your position a little more down into how low into the 50s might you anticipate it going to?
I'm gonna be honest with you. What I've been looking at now, because you have institutional investors investing in it, I've been looking at a race to Satoshis or Bitcoin. I haven't necessarily been looking at where it's going because I've talked about on my channel for my members. I told them it was going to go around 60,000. As far as calling prices, always look at Satoshis because here's the thing. Kathy Wood says 3.5 million. You have a lot of people saying between 1 to 2 million. But the problem is for the normal novice investor, we're looking at price. But in my opinion, we should be looking at Satoshis or Bitcoin because once it's gone, it's going to be gone. I'm not an investment advisor giving you guys investment advice, but I look at Satoshis. I'm looking at a race to build X amount of Satoshis or X amount of Bitcoin the fastest because these institutions are coming in buying it up.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on that, Prez?
I kind of sort of do agree with you there, Robert. But me personally, I'm looking at the support and resistance levels because I just recently took profit and sold out of all of my Bitcoin and bought more VTI because I see the market is coming down. So I went a little bit risk off, but I'm looking at the 61,000 flat range to re-enter into Bitcoin and start DCAing all over again to reaccumulate before the price runs up again. So that's where my overall thought process and what my current strategy is as far as Bitcoin.
And overall, Prez, how much of a percentage of your total portfolio do you usually have in crypto?
1%.
1%.
1%. Yeah.
Yeah. I was definitely, it's a little harder for me to because most of my Bitcoin, I hold it on Webull, but Webull split their crypto off separately into Webull Pay. So it's not as easy for me to, tell you or show you what my percentage is, but I usually try to keep it about 5%. And that's primarily Bitcoin and Ethereum in my portfolio. I have traded a few of the Bitcoin miners and Bitcoin. Some of the ones that I've dabbled with this year have been Mara, Riot, Doge, and Hut 8. Did not have any success on my trade with Hut 8, but the others I did. And Shiba Inu. That's been kind of a legacy meme coin that I've had in my portfolio that I guess I didn't have this intention, but it seems like something that I've decided to diamond hands because I've been holding onto it for several years and I was down on it. But like I said, a total of all the crypto that I had was about 5%. So never anything significant dragging down my portfolio because of that. But something I should have gotten in and out of or had a longer term plan on. So with you explaining, Prez, about, the Bitcoin cycles being 4 years, that's what I'm kind of touching on with my comment there, that if you get into something, it potentially, and it comes down, you could potentially be in something that is struggling for the whole 4-year cycle. So I see both of you are nodding your heads on that. That could happen if you get in at the high and then, just at the wrong point. So that's something else I like to stress. I think, Prez and I both do, is, and I'm sure Robert would agree, I think, that we need to have a full plan when we get into whether we're considering it an investment or a trade. We need to know at what price point we're getting in, potentially out, taking profit, letting all of it go like Prez did and getting back in. You need to make those decisions and plans for yourself because it's not always going to be one size fit all thing and not always an easy thing when you're getting into your investments or trades. So we have someone that wanted to ask a question. Robert, that's on your page.
Yeah, it was
Let
Ken
me,
Tavius. I
yeah.
put in sure what's your question, but they haven't
Okay.
responded yet. So I'm not sure if
Okay.
they.
Let me know if that question pops up, if I miss it. Um, so have either of you done any trades with crypto or crypto miners that you would want to share?
Not recently, not me personally, not recently. Right
Mhm.
now, I've just been waiting for the overall dust to settle as far as the geopolitical event that's going on, as far as over in Iran and Israel, and as well as what the Fed is going to do as far as the interest rates is concerned. So I basically been waiting for the dust to settle for all of that, and then I'll possibly re-enter into some crypto trades. But for now, I just been on the sidelines.
All right, all right. So you were talking about, maybe if Bitcoins come down to maybe around 61, are you going to be setting up like a bunch of limit orders, you know, uh, potentially going 61 down to whatever amount that you think it may dip down to? Or what is your plan on investing? Do you have alerts set, or are you just going to be watching it? How do you go about How are you going to go about building up your position now that you're completely out of your Bitcoin?
Right now, I'm using price alerts, of course, but I don't have any set limit orders in place. I'm just paying attention, being vigilant to my price alerts that I have set, and I'm watching the charts. Not like a hawk, but I'm periodically checking the charts anyway because that's kind of sort of what I do. I started out in this field being a trader first, so I'm always looking at the charts anyway for opportunity. Even if I'm not planning on taking a trade, I'm still looking at the chart. I'm like a chart junkie. I'm always looking. So
Mhm.
yeah, hopefully my price alerts and I'm ready, with my cash in hand when the time comes. If not, then I'll continue to DCA into safer assets like BTI and Apple and Microsoft
All
because
right.
it's you're taking on bigger risk when you're investing into things like cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and things of that nature. And I'm getting older in my years, so I want to be a little less risk off because I want more money when I'm ready to retire.
Mhm. So I have been, Robert threw out a challenge over on his channel to, you know, on certain increments, whatever you could manage to at least be adding $10 into Bitcoin. I've definitely been able to do at least my $10 weekly, more at times, but I'm going to be setting up some limit orders, like I said, in my Webull Pay account so that I can catch certain price points and I'll have my amount set there. And, some of the things I put in my order sometimes are pretty far fetched, but sometimes it happens, like what went on with Tesla this week. I had something in there that was pretty low, and I wind up filling for one full share of Tesla because it really did come down. And not for right now because I'm going to be holding my Bitcoin, so I won't be using any stop loss on, while I'm building this position up. So,
Yeah, and I said something earlier. A lot of people, you have to ask yourself this question: Are you short term, mid term, long term investing? Prez, Lisa J, myself, we pretty much watch the market. At least I know I look at it at least 3 to 4 times minimal a day. So most average people may not look at it, that often. They may just look at it twice a day or once a day. You have to ask yourself, what is your trading strategy, and go with that. And that's a good thing about us. Although we may differ with certain things, we still long term are in the market, or long term want to make sure that we're helping each other, are helping others as well as to get into the next level. So if you're in here and you're new at crypto and you're trying to figure it out, or you're new in Bitcoin, or you're new in just investing, period, all three of us, we have wonderful channels that you can look at to have wonderful information. Please definitely subscribe to Lisa J Stocks, Prez the Investor. Definitely subscribe to those if you're on my end, or vice versa, because the bottom line is we want to make sure that everyone in here is going to win. Prez said something very key. He said that I want to make sure that in my older years, I'm going to be okay. So we have different age ranges. I'm sure if we look at our analytics, we see 18-year-old all the way up to 65. So it's not necessarily a one size fits all. But like you said, Lisa, as far as the $10 Bitcoin challenge, it's not investment advice, but, once a month, at least minimal $10. Because here's the thing about everything else we discussed. Ethereum, anything else, Dogecoin, you said something else. Bitcoin, once it's gone, right? Once the Satoshis or the Bitcoin is gone, there's no more that's going to be minted or mined. So we have to keep that in mind when we're looking at our strategies as well.
So, Prez, did you have something you wanted to add to that?
I'm with you. I'm with you right there, Robert. I'm with you all day. Yeah, DCA and at least $10 a month is very feasible for anybody to obtain. My thing is just get started investing. I always preach that. Just get started. Start with the safer assets first, of course, until you learn about the more riskier ones, and you're good to go after that. That's pretty much my take on that.
Yes. So don't let, the pullback turn you off. This could be a buying opportunity to establish good positions in ETFs, stocks, as well as crypto. So we have to make sure that we're not being emotional traders. If you more recently started to build into positions, you may be in the red. And I know it's not going to be easy seeing that, but you have to evaluate what you invested into. Did you really put your research into it? And is this something that you plan on holding long term? Because if you are, I would say, look at this time as an opportunity to focus more on it and don't be an emotional trader and sell out, because the market is going to come down. But everything else, there's so many other things. When the price comes down, we're happy. We're like, oh, it's on sale. There's an opportunity. But the one thing that so many of us don't look at it that way is the market and our investments. So, let me see. What else can we chat about? Long term. I think a lot of people they want the fast money. They're not thinking about the long-term potential and position. So even if Bitcoin, we would all ideally, we would love that, in this last cycle with Bitcoin, that we bought at 18,000 and it ran up to 62 and we sold, and, but we have to realize who we are and what type of investor we are, and what effort and research and that we're putting into our investing and trading strategy, and know where we're at. And it's not going to turn out like that for everyone. So we have to just continue to be consistent, build up our positions into good, solid investment choices, whether it's crypto or, our ETFs, index funds, stocks. Don't just jump on board with everything that you hear about without doing your research. And it's for you, your personal choice as to what percentage you want to hold in crypto, as opposed to, more safer traditional investment vehicles, like just investing into the S&P 500, for example. So, Prez, can you throw out some questions to us and help this conversation going?
There's a question.
Investing with Rod in the chat says, where do you think Bitcoin will dip down to? Or do you think it will continue to move towards that 80K price point? Me personally, I could see it going down as low as 61K, like I said earlier, and possibly bouncing up back towards the all-time highs. I don't really see it going too much lower than that, or I don't have a crystal ball, and you never know with crypto. You understand what I'm saying? Especially Bitcoin. Like a big whale could decide they want to take profit after 19 years of holding on to Bitcoin and sell it all and shoot the price down to 40K in one day. It can happen. But being realistic, I see it bouncing off the 61K support level and continuing higher if it was to drop down again.
I'm not, I'm not as versed in, doing the charting and the way that Prez is. I will admit that, but I do have some hopes of it dipping into the 50s. So I think it's going to run up, and then there's going to be a cool down. How far into the 50s? I can't say, but I do hope for a buying opportunity lower than 60K. So,
And the great thing you said, Lisa, earlier, you said that you set some limit orders. And for people who don't know what that is, think about it like this. Think about if you went to the grocery store and you said, for instance, I went and bought some wild caught salmon at the grocery store, and it's normally $21, $19 to $21 a pound, but it was on sale for $8.99. So a limit order, you pretty much put the price in that you want for that asset, or you think it can go down to. So Prez said the support resistance level 61. So if you think 60K, you can put in X amount of dollars for that 60K price or 50K price. And if it reaches that level, it'll automatically purchase it on that level for you. So that may be something you may take a look at as in your strategy. I know I do that. Lisa said she does, and I'm sure Prez does that as well.
Yes, and as we were touching on earlier, or for those of you that were not here, you can also pair that with having a price alert set through your investment app, just in case perhaps you don't have enough money, or you see an opportunity to adjust your limit order if the price of Bitcoin or whatever your investment is coming down. I just touched on how Tesla came down drastically as we were coming towards the end of last week. So, Apple one day too was really coming down to the point where I had to, sometimes during the day, I have to stop what I'm doing and adjust my alerts because my phone will be dead. Because I'll have it at a certain price point or a certain percentage drop, and my phone will just be buzzing because it just keeps hitting that particular alert that I have set. But this is how I take advantage of, like I'm saying, a pullback on a certain investment that I have, marked in my portfolio that I want to keep track of. So,
I literally just had to move my phone from off of this table because I had price alerts
on crypto,
for Dogecoin and Shiba Inu and Ondo Finance and Cardano. It was just going off. Since we've been on this last,
I literally just turned. I turned one of mine off.
If I'm around,
and it's on vibrate, but I keep hearing woo woo.
If I'm around people, I have to go into the office a minimum of 2 times per week. If I'm around people and when 9:30 hits, I'm just like, oh, just ignore that. It's just 9:30. Because my phone just, as the market opens and there's any fluctuation, there'll probably be something that I have an alert set for that, it's going to cause my phone to get a little buzzy there for a while. So what was Robert saying here? Oh, not Robert, Rod. Investing with Rod. I just subscribed to his channel today. So he's saying, I'm hoping for the 50K range. So he can make a major move, but he will continue to DCA even at the price points, I guess, that it's at now.
If it doesn't hold that 61K level, I'm looking at possibly 53,000 as the next level, the next major level of support. If it doesn't hold the 61K level, then I can see it coming easily down to 53.
Okay. So any obscure cryptos that you guys want to chat about? Anything that you've thought about holding, even potentially as an investment?
Me personally, I've been leaning towards Solana as far as adding to, because long term, the only thing that I'm interested in holding right now is Bitcoin and Ethereum. But I'm starting to gravitate a little more towards Solana lately since the last pump. I watched it go from $14 all the way up to almost $200 a piece.
Okay. So have either of you do you have Coinbase accounts, or do you have the need for accounts that that you can have access to something like, you know, the Floki and the Bonk and those type of cryptos that may not be on our more mainstream platforms that we use?
Oh yes,
Yes,
most.
I'm currently using Coinbase Advance. I also use crypto.com because you can also set limit orders there. They also have options for you to trade derivatives in crypto. That's something like call options and put options.
Yeah.
It's a little more high risk, but they do have that option there available. And I also use it's an app called Uphold. They have a lot of coins that aren't available on Coinbase or crypto.com. And normally, a lot of these coins you would need a VPN to use a decentralized exchange to obtain. But Uphold, the thing about Uphold, they will charge you like a 99-cent fee for every $5 that you spend or every transaction. So just be mindful of the fees that come in play when you buying crypto on Uphold.
Mhm. So I do have a crypto.com account. I definitely have a Coinbase. Are all the platforms that you mentioned, do they all have a easily accessible and use of putting on your stop loss?
Uphold doesn't. They don't have limit orders or stop losses, only buy and sell. But that's if you're like you're actually building a crypto long-term portfolio,
Mhm.
which I wouldn't typically recommend, but you do have some people out there that like to invest in the crypto long term. Just understand the nature of crypto and some of these positions, you probably won't see any real payout until 4 or 5 years down the road because there's such a new projects and they're a lot more speculative than your traditional Bitcoin and Ethereum and things of that nature. So as long as you got that in place and you got that frame of mind in place that I'm not looking for no overnight success. This is something that I'm looking for 3, 4 years down the road and the next cycle to see some type of profit, then I think you're good to go. But yeah, crypto.com does have limit orders and Coinbase Advance have limit orders as well. You just have to make sure you have that limit order selected. Otherwise, it will give you a market on it and it will charge you a higher fee.
Okay, okay. You're breaking up a little bit there. Um, okay. So outside of crypto, what had your attention in the news this week related to the stock market?
He said it earlier, as it relates to what's going on, Israel and things of that nature. That you got oil, gold is going to bounce off those news. Anything related to that, of course, Ibotta. If you've seen that, the IPO of Ibotta, I looked at that. That's what's been on my radar.
Mhm. I hadn't done any. I wasn't familiar with anything going on with Ibotta. Were you, Krez?
No, I don't know anything about it at all. But I have been pretty much watching the market run up on a pretty fast level, and I've noticed that it really needs to cool off a little bit. And with all of these events going on, I'm kind of sort of leaning towards a 10% market correction, and that's basically 10% from the 52-week highs of the S&P, and that'll bring the S&P to down to about 4,600ish around that range.
Mhm.
And I just been really keeping my eye on that before I make any major moves. And I just continue to DCA, and I'm mindful of the trades that I'm getting in and out of because the market's on a cool off stage right now. And these events is helping it along basically. You have earnings season coming up. A lot of these big companies are reporting earnings and they're not giving the best positive outlook as far as forward guidance is concerned. So I'm just, being vigilant, continue with my DCA strategy and watching what's going on, keeping my ear to the street as far as the geopolitical events and what the Fed is doing.
So another thing that I've been keeping my eye on, and just like Bitcoin, kind of wondering and wanting to do my research on how far it may come down, is Nvidia. Because that is something that I got into, I would say, later than a lot of people. I don't know. I wasn't lucky enough to have my eyes open to it at the $500 or $600 mark. I had only started to invest into it at the beginning of the year of 2024. It was something that I added new to my portfolio, and it just it seemed like as soon as I added it, it just was taking off and just getting up there. But I have stuck with it over these, I don't know how many weeks we are into the year, but I have been sticking with building it up. I don't even have one full share yet, but I have been working to stay focused on it. Any thought? Do you have NVIDIA in your $5 your YouTube portfolio, Press?
Yes, I do. It's currently red in the YouTube portfolio, but in my main portfolio, I have an average of $329 on my NVIDIA position.
Okay.
So I've been buying NVIDIA back when it was in $100, $200 range during the bear market. Like when they was telling me Nancy Pelosi was making a lot of money off of NVIDIA, I started really doing my research. I said, well, this chick, she really killing the game. So I'm gonna try to, ride her coattails a little bit.
Okay. So NVIDIA, it's at what ended the week at about 762, which, the price points that it has been at way up into the 900s and beyond at times really has shown that it was overvalued. But I'm hoping to have an opportunity for it to come below 700 and continue to build up that position, because they are projecting it to be over 1,000 in the future. Is that what you've seen also? Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty much.
I like it at 300 personally.
Oh,
well, I don't know if we're gonna. we can't.
Be nice.
We can't go back in time. We would like to go back in time and get some Bitcoin for $5.
Right.
But
I say that to say that the red in the market doesn't scare me at all. To whereas though the less experienced me, it probably would have scared me out of a lot of my positions. And I say that to encourage the viewers to just hold on. Just hold on. If you investing in the companies that you know and you believe in, and you've done your research, you don't have anything to worry about, because what goes down is going to come back up. It's only coming down to allow you to accumulate more into this position.
Yeah, I look at it like, I always use examples that people can understand. My dad, he loves Frosted Flakes. He will call me, hey, Rob, could you go to the store and Frosted Flakes on sale, blah, blah, blah. He will not eat anything else, no shade to anybody else. But Tony the Tiger, I'm telling you, hey, you need to give him a sponsorship. But I'm telling you, if it's on sale, he's going to buy as many boxes as he can. If it's not on sale, he's going to buy boxes. So you got to look at that same strategy. If you like a stock or a crypto, red is not necessarily bad. Red is getting you in position to win long term. So I look at it like my dad buying Frosted Flakes. He might come home with one box, or he might come home with 4 boxes, just depending on what the sale is of Frosted Flakes.
I like Frosted Flakes.
I saw you raise your hand. He said.
Okay, so we all have a similar mindset in what we're saying here, but what about the emotional traders? Do you think that there is going to be a lot of sell-off of Bitcoin and other things as they come to the top? Because, the average person is just either worried that it's going to come down too far, or think that it's time to just take profit and just cut it completely out of their portfolio.
People's mindset, unfortunately, is always buy the rumor, sell the news. So yeah, we're going to get some pricing action, some decent prices within this strategy. But if we look at the overall, if we're talking about Bitcoin, the overall 365 days after the halving, each time has went up. Now, of course, it's not investment or financial advice, but of course, we're going to get some price action. Of course, you're going to have people who just say, they just get in and, Bitcoin's 70,000, let me jump in. Oh, Bitcoin dropped, let me jump out. Long term, in my opinion, that's, I said the $10 a day or $10 a month, a week, whatever your financials is, $10, when it's in red, for me, when it's red, I like it. You can see this red in the background a little bit. If it's red, I like it. Meaning that's when I know I'm going to get a good price. That's how I look at it.
Okay. Okay. So, any other stocks? What did I touch on? The ones that really were had my eye this week. What else? What do you guys think of any thoughts on Palantir as a long-term hold?
I'm going to be
I
honest.
like it.
Go ahead.
I like Palantir. I really do. I really like Palantir. I've been eyeing it. I don't currently have a position in the
What's
YouTube portfolio, but I've been eyeing Palantir for a while now, and they pretty much are in the artificial intelligence space as far as helping out not only the military but also the medical field as well and businesses. You know, that's pretty much what Palantir does. From just shooting from the hip, just trying to give you a brief explanation as to what they do. But yeah, I've been following Palantir for about a year, maybe a little longer than that now, and they just recently started bringing in some profit. So they're no longer a non-profitable company. So I've been really keeping my eye on it. But I will have a very small allocation, probably about 1% of my portfolio will be into Palantir.
okay? Okay. Anything you want to share on that one, Robert?
I'm looking at my portfolio. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just looking at my portfolio before I say something
All
on
right.
Palantir.
Any other stocks you want to take a look at, Prez, that you think might be interesting for the conversation, or things that you want to focus on right now, or or we could talk a little bit about building up our cash to be ready. Like when and what are we trying to get ready for?
Basically, I'm getting cashed up just in case the market goes lower than a 10% correction and we're going into a new bear market. I want to be prepared. I'm trying to generate other streams of income, doing side jobs and things of that nature, and pushing out more content to possibly get my channel monetized so that I can have more money to invest in to buy the big dip if we get the big dip. If not, then I will continue to stick to my plan, keep it simple and stick to my plan to regularly DCA what I'm able to afford to DCA into. And that's my plan. That's my plan. I stick to my plan. I run a tight ship on as far as being the CEO of my portfolio and my wealth is concerned. And I encourage others to take control of their personal finance and become the CEO of their portfolio and wealth. Get started, stay consistent, and come up with a plan and stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you start diverting away from your plan, that's when you start seeing losses that you really don't want to see. So
That's true.
I try to preach sticking to your plan. Once you come up with a plan and you back test it and you see that it works, sticking to it is the best thing you can do. Just stay consistent.
Yeah. So, guys, investing is not always a glamorous, easy thing to deal with. So, sometimes there is pain. Some years there may be pain, but you have to know what your intentions are. This is something that we've talked about in the past. Is your focus that you're, if you have a young child, is your focus investing for them for college? Are you focused on investing for 20 or 30 years down the line, depending on how old you are, for retirement? You have to know what your personal goals are for your investing. And I think that will help you in navigating and staying focused on building towards your goals. So I think Swoop was asking, oh, you put it in there. Thanks, Prez.
Yes.
Yeah.
PLTR.
The ticker symbol is PLTR.
Yep.
For that also, Swoop. So
Yeah, looking at my portfolio, I do have Palantir. I did buy some, but it wasn't something I was literally buying a lot of. So I do have it in there. That's why I was like, I know I got it. Do have it in there. I don't necessarily have a positive or negative to say. My thing is, it's kind of like this. When you're building your portfolio, just like prayer said, you got to make sure the ones that you love, you stick with them. You come to the dance, you bring the one to the dance with you. If it's Tesla, if it's Riot, because I've had Riot for years even before the halving, and everybody was talking about Bitcoin and shot up. So I look at things. I'm looking at long term as it relates to where the world is going. Where's the world now? Where's the world going? And I position my portfolio to do such. So 5 to 10 years for me is what I look at. I don't necessarily look at, oh, I need this today. I look at 5 to 10 years where the world is going, and I position my portfolio as such.
So I have multiple portfolios that I'm building. Obviously I have my retirement accounts. I do those at Fidelity. And those I don't plan on tapping into potentially until after age 65. But my other portfolios, a lot of which I share on my channel, those could be things that I tap into in early retirement, because I would like to retire hopefully in my 50s and be able to tap into even just the dividends from the positions that I'm building out. And as well as, I worked right now, I have 2 on the books, jobs. I have my own business. I have rental property. So I'm hoping that, I'll have multiple different streams of income that I can tap into and just eliminate the day job out of my, my daily a little earlier than in the 60s, past that 59 and a half range that we have to get to in order to tap into our retirement accounts. So I think no, that's not true. There are some people, I've been told that there are some people, me and Prez are not in this group, that don't want to stop working. They love what they do, and they, but I'm not one of them. I don't mind working. I know even if I was to eliminate the day job, I'm still going to have to work. I can't outsource everything. I am the property manager for my property. I have people that try to approach me and take over that job, and I'm like, no. If I need to outsource a particular job to you, you're going to come in and do the job, and I'm going to be watching you do the job. But yeah, no, you're not going to be collecting my rents and doing everything. I do all of that, because with that, when you have, when people do want to take on that job, they also want a percentage of everything that they're doing. And obviously you have to pay them, but they'll want a percentage of the rents and all of that. And yeah, I'm not in that place right now. I'm a frugal person, and some of the things that I do, I know my friends and family think like, Lisa, why? But everything that every time I do something to save money, I feel like it's a step in the right direction. But it is tiring sometimes when I'm out here bagging 17 bags of leaves, and every time I don't want to go to the supermarket, but I go and I do the shopping, because I say it's going to cost the extra fees and doing the Instacart and the Uber Eats. And let me just try to keep some money, keep as much in my pocket as I can. So I do all those little things, and then I make my investments, or I add to my savings account, or I give my daughter $50 on her debit card or something, and I feel like it was worth the hassle, because everything is just so expensive. But is there any things that you guys have been doing to adjust your budget, because just everything is just so expensive right now, with gas and car insurance prices and everything, and subscriptions? Anything that you guys are trying to cut back on?
Me personally, I'm pretty frugal myself. Like, I don't really, I don't do the nightlife anymore. I feel like I'm too old to be hanging out in the streets aren't as safe as they were back when we were in our early 20s and teen years. So I'm pretty frugal now at my age now. I'll be 46 this year. So it's not nothing that I really need. I feel I need to cut back on because I'm already running a tight ship financially anyway. Because I would much rather invest as much as I possibly can, during these times and accumulate while the market is slightly down versus running with a boatload of money when Nvidia is almost $1,000 again.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, I would say the same thing as it relates to anything. I mentioned salmon. I eat pescatarian. As it relates to no meat. People like, oh, the grocery store. I'm like, I've been paying these prices, please. But as it relates to anything, you said something about Instacart. I was going to order a pizza, and with delivery fee and everything else, it was like $20-something. So wow. I mean, I still ordered a pizza, but I'm just saying, I just, certain things, if I want it, I get it. But as it relates to anything, I'm not kind of like Prez. I'm not out clubbing and drinking and stuff that I used to do when I was 21. I don't do those type of things anymore. So as it relates to any, my hobby is stocks and crypto. That's my hobby. So other people do things. I'm like, oh, let me buy some more of this. Oh, let me do this. So that's what I do for a hobby. I like it. And I would say it's more than a hobby now because, I have a monetized channel. So it's more than a hobby now. So let me retract that. It's more than a hobby. I do that for something that I love to do. I literally love to do it. So I can, I'm looking at my phone as we're talking, because you're talking about Palantir and then you're talking about Tesla. So certain things I was looking at while y'all were talking. But none the least, I'm sure y'all are like me. You're probably looking at your phone 10 times a day. Every time you can take a chance, you're like, hold on, let me see what this is. Okay, that's where it is. Okay, do I need to adjust this? So for me, I'm looking at long-term play, dollar cost averaging so that I can retire before I'm 50. Because let's be honest, since we're talking about retirement, I'm 99% sure. Well, let me not say that. I want to know the answer in the chats, everyone's chat. Do you think Social Security will be here in the next 20 years? What do y'all think? I don't think it's going to be here. What do you think, Prez? What do you think, Lisa?
I think Social Security will be here. I think the amount will be lower than what anybody expects. And I think that the age will be, I don't know, 72 or 74. An age that we most definitely do not want to work until in order to get full benefits. But I think because of politics and people, that I think they will never completely eliminate it because people want to get elected and there's so much stuff behind it that people will be angry if it's just completely we don't have money for that, but we have money to send overseas and do all this other stuff. They better always have something. But how much it's going to be, that's the issue. And I often encourage people to put some effort into figuring it out. We can right now, any of us can get in contact with the Social Security in order to, because they used to way back when send us a yearly report in the mail, but because of security issues and stuff like that, they can't mail that out anymore. So you have to take it upon yourself to set up an account and realize where you're at in life, what stage of life you are, and see potentially from today what you would be getting. And we had someone on our chat, I think it was this Sunday, that said they had $300,000 and they were not a very old person, and they were talking about retiring. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know the person's circumstances. I'm thinking to myself, okay, what is that going to generate? 10, 15, $20,000 a year? I can't live off of that. Even if, even if I work to not have a mortgage, and you don't know how long you're going to live. That's another obstacle with preparing for retirement. But, even my house, if I get my house paid off, still taxes and insurance it's not going anywhere. Maintenance is not going anywhere. The older I get, that means I can't get out there and do the leaves and do the lawn work, you know? So that's more stuff that if I want to stay living in this property, those are more things that are going to be expenses upon me. So I have to think about the big picture of what I need and, you know, keeping a vehicle potentially, you know, like right now, my mother can't drive any longer. So you don't know, you have to think about what potentially your life could look like. And I know it's hard because you don't know at what age these things may end for you, like being able to drive and being able to go down in the basement and do the laundry. And you don't know when you may need assistance with these things, but we just have to do our best to try to figure out how much potentially we may need, because you know families have to figure out what the plan is, and I don't think that they're coming together to make these plans. And that's where the whole sandwich generation comes in, where you have someone that might be kind of in our age bracket, but then you know I have a daughter that's too young to drive yet. And then, like I'm saying, I have a mother that is in a, you know, physically is unable to drive anymore. So you have to help up and down with your family members. So it's hard to it's important to do as much planning as possible in this area to make things easier for yourself, so that, you know, because you know, even though it's not going to be my daughter's responsibility, I'm sure they're not going to want to see me struggling and living in a potentially somewhere that they wouldn't want me to be. And then what happens? You know, it's going to just make a lot of tension and hardship, and it could potentially make issues. So we all have to strive to do our best to take care of our older selves, as we say.
I'm glad you said something about that, Lisa. A lot of people, you know, when I talk to a lot of people about things, they say, well, I don't want to have X amount of dollars. I don't want to do this. I don't want to, my desire is not to do this. The one thing you have to understand is the very thing Lisa said. You have older parents or your grandmothers. I have a 98-year-old grandmother now, you know, but, you know, one is going on, but you have to understand money is not necessarily just for you. Money is not necessarily just, you know, for your household. It's to help the older generation at times as well, because your parents looked out for you. So, I mean, in my opinion, you should, you know, try to look out for your parents or your grandparents. So it's not necessarily just for you. You got to look at, just like you said, Lisa, your mother, your father, you know, and things of that nature. That's something important that we have to look at as well.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you on that one.
So Elle says if the Social Security system goes belly up, she wants all of the money that she contributed since 17.
JG Wentworth, huh?
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Is that going to be enough?
No.
I was watching something the other day, and it was talking about, you know, we're forced to pay into Social Security. But I think all three of us, if we were able to take that money, and even if we had to invest it, we would be doing better investing it on our own.
Facts.
For the future. Listen,
Facts.
I wish that this
please, JJ, work with me on that. Please.
I wish the system wasn't what it was, but this is just me talking, you know, like fantasy land type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I wish that this money was not taken out of my check. I wish it was given to me, even if it was strictly, Lisa, all you can do with this money is invest it. I know I could do so much more.
Oh yeah, because most of the time it's loaded with fees, and I'm not even gonna get into all the, you know, logistics. But when you look at it, you're like, "Come on, man! Like this how we playing the game? Wow, wow!"
But ladies and gentlemen in the chat, that's why it is very important that you take your financial freedom into your own hands. You start investing on your own. Don't rely on Social Security, because the amount you're expecting, it just may not be there when you get to that retirement age. and as well as your 401k, invest into your 401k, match it out if you can with your employer. If they're matching, they're doing a company match, and keep track of what's going on. And yeah, you have to invest on your own. Otherwise, it's not going to be enough there when you're ready to retire, unless you got some type of lucrative business or that's bringing in revenue for you when you're not able to work anymore. It's not going to be enough. I can almost guarantee you it's not going to be enough. You can be sitting around waiting for a check, and it's still not going to be enough. You're going to be relying on younger family members to aid you, and they're not going to probably want to be bothered with you because they have their own lives.
Mhm.
That's true.
And I'm saying this off the top of my head. I think the average checks are maybe around $1,700, and
A
I
month?
know, yes. And I know how quickly I go through that amount of money on the basics. And I have like right now, I have home heating oil, I have gas, I have electric, I have the car insurance, just the basic necessities that I need here, the water bill. I go through the money so quick. And then like even to go to I usually go to say like a Target or a different store than the supermarket to do my extra things, that I have to pick up, maybe my paper products and different things. I spend $100 on the extras. And then I spend maybe about over $200 at the supermarket. So yeah.
You said $1,700 a month, and I just got mad. Like, I know
No,
y'all probably in the chat seen it in my face. Like, y'all can wait for that $1,700 a month if y'all want to. I ain't gonna be doing it. I'm gonna be investing and learning how to trade and building my wealth on the sideline while y'all sitting around waiting for that Social Security check.
Prez, maybe you and I should do that. We should set up our accounts with Social Security and see what our projected amounts would be at 65, 67, and we can chat about it one day on one of our shows.
I might be upset if I see what they got for me. I might be.
I'm
glad I took the initiative to actually learn how to invest, learn how to trade, learn how to manage my own Roth IRA account for trading as well as investing, because I have two separate ones. One I trade out of and the other one I invest out of. And I would probably be upset if I knew what they had for me.
So I made a change to my one of my my IRAs. Actually, it was to my 401k, the one that I'm currently contributing to. I shifted it temporarily. I don't know if it's temporarily, but I shifted it completely over to FXAIX, which I'm also doing in another one of my IRAs. So I had it in a target date fund, but I think I want to be a little bit more aggressive. So I shifted it there. I didn't sell out of the portion that I had into the target date fund. I'm just going to leave that. But for right now, I'm doing 100% into the S&P 500 because I want to see that growth and those dividends to build up my account. And you might think that I think I know right now I'm on track. My eyes are open. I'm reviewing, all the portfolios, especially my retirement account. And it's sad, but I must say, to be truthful with you, I think I should have, if I was the person that I am today, 18 years ago, I would have maybe $100,000 more because I would have contributed more and made better choices of my investments into my retirement accounts. And I would have been, every time I got a raise, it would have been going up by a percentage and things like that. And I know there were years in there where that was not occurring, but all I could do is now know better, do better, and hopefully on this platform, get the message out, and maybe a younger person hears it and can realize the power of compound interest and know that time is on your side and you have to take it seriously. I know young people are not thinking about when I'm 67 years old, but or, parents may not be thinking I can invest for my 1-year-old, but you can, and you don't need a lot of money to get started with investing. I was
Sure.
in a women's finance group, and I was reading a comment, and the woman was saying, "Oh, I have $500." She basically was naming numbers and saying that she wanted to build up the savings account to $5,000 before she got started investing. And I don't comment on everything, but I said, I'm going to put my 2 cents in here because I said I see no, you don't have to wait. I told her, you can invest as little as $1 in Fidelity. So why are you going to let the child's account get to $5,000? All that time that you're trying to save, the money could be invested. So get started. And even if you're only contributing $10 a paycheck or whatever, because this is for the child, this is not her retirement. Every time get it invested. Don't have it sit in the bank account to build up to some amount. I proudly will invest my $5 or whatever amount that I have on my behalf or on my child's behalf, because I'm trying to be an example to her. It's not all about spend today. She has to see that it's about a budget and a balance, and building up our savings and our money. And all the money is not going to be accessible to you. Right now, she doesn't have a credit card. I only have her out with she only has a debit card. But she knows, okay, there's money in a CD, there's money in a savings account, there's money that's invested. And she has an understanding of the way that I invest. I invest 80% into ETFs for her. And then she understands why the percentage of Tesla is what it is in her portfolio, because I've shown her, and she's seen what happened to her Tesla since the beginning of the year. She went from 30% up to 30% down. But I asked her how she felt about that one day, and she was like, Mom, I know that you know what you're doing, and I understand why, you didn't put 80% into Tesla. You put this particular percentage into Tesla because you knew that was one that maybe could be something great for me in the future, but it's going to be volatile. Whereas her, total stock market investment is just, pretty much steady growth, so.
Oh yeah, and Swoop just said all the money that you put in a child's piggy bank should be invested instead. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm not about I rarely handle cash. I try to keep all of my money if it's not in my high yield savings account, I keep a minimal amount in my checking. That's for, the bills that I know are going to be in and out. I know I have an idea of that. After that, I want my money in the high yield savings account, or even if I'm not sure when it's going to be invested, I put it into my investment platforms, because I get, at Fidelity, it's like about 4.9%. Webull, Moomoo, Public, it's 5.0 or 5.1% of your money when it's just sitting uninvested. Whereas if I left it at my local bank in my checking account, it's doing nothing. And with the way that we are with inflation, our money is basically, it's losing value sitting around. So I have no concept of why anyone is holding any money in cash. And I'm thrilled to see, even if like I said, I put my money in my investment app. Inside of the apps, they usually show you your interest daily, like on Webull, for example.
Mhm.
I don't care if it's 6 cents a day, 12 cents a day. I want to see it, because I know if it was sitting at my local bank, it would barely make that 6 cents in a month. And I
You're
know
making money while you sleep.
yeah,
Exactly.
I know I'm talking. I'm sometimes this is what I'm literally earning in interest is whatever, a few pennies a day. But I'm glad for that, because anything it's in the right direction. And Yeah, these banks, they use our money, and they're making out on it. And if all of us physically went to the bank and said we want to close our account, they don't even physically have our money. How much would they be able to give us if we went there? Probably less than 15% of it, because it's loans. It's just X's and O's or zeros and ones, and it's there. We have our money, but they wouldn't even physically be able to give it to us because they have it out there in the system working.
And plus, besides that, they're only required to keep at least I think it's $75,000 in cash, paper cash, at each particular brick and mortar bank. So you can, for example, you can put $1 million cash in all bills in the bank today and go back whenever you think it's clear and say, well, I would like to close my account and withdraw my entire $1 million. I want it all in nickels and dimes, or not nickels and dimes, but 10s and 20s, and they don't have it. They don't have it there for you. They'll offer you the option of, well, we can write you a cashier check. Well, who's going to cash a cashier's check for $1 million? Oh, you can take it to another bank. So see that your cash is basically gone because you decided to put it in the bank, but the bank is only required by law to keep around $75K at each brick and mortar bank. So you would have to basically travel from bank to bank, like a bank robber, to get your $1 million back, to recoup your $1 million back, and then you're probably going to be paying ATM fees, and you have a maximum amount that you can withdraw from the ATM anyway, a daily maximum amount that you can withdraw from the ATM anyway. So the traditional banking system as we know it is basically a scam, y'all. So do your research, and there's plenty of content out here that will break down how the banking system as we know it is a scam, and they're taking your money, that they get to lend it out 10 times over, and it's just not a good look to depend on banks.
You bring in your money, they're going to put your money in the vehicle that's going to make the most money for them. They're going to put it in a bond or something, and then hope that you opt for the most basic savings or checking account at 0.01, while they're making so much money on what we are essentially lending to them. So
they take your money, they go to the stock market, they lend it out to other businesses. So you think your savings account is gaining interest, but they are shorting GameStop with your savings.
Now, should you have a savings account? I think everyone should have an emergency fund. I think everybody should have something in savings. There's no excuse for that. So you should have some emergency fund. Yes. You should have a little walk around money just in case. Yes. But all of your money? No, not at all. Because you're losing money. Just Lisa just said earlier, going to the grocery store, inflation city. I mean, shrinkflation and inflation. You're looking at stuff and it's not necessarily what we were paying for it. Little Debbie is literally Little Debbie now. No shade, Little Debbie. Don't come for me. Little Debbie used to be this big. Now Little Debbies are this big.
Not no more.
You're like, wow. Chips used to have a little bit of air in it. Now you open it and it's this much chips at the bottom. Yeah, you're like, what is this? So, just in inflation alone, just in the way things are increasing in value, you're going to lose money just by keeping it there, not growing interest on it. And you said earlier, Prayers, if you do not find a way to invest money and make it while you sleep, you will forever work for someone. Now, is it okay to work for yourself? Yes. What we're doing here, I don't feel like it's work, because we love doing it. I mean, we could do this forever. We love doing something like this. So you got to find something you love, something you're passionate about, something that you can make revenue and possibly utilize that to increase and put in a market. But we can't make excuses, because at the end of the day, if we live, the next day we're going to get older. And that's just the bottom line on that one.
So we talking about emergency funds. I am a credit card person. I use my credit card for even my utility bills. I use it as much as possible, and then I pay it off as immediate as possible. But I just want the rewards, the cash back. I have a certain card I use to put gas in my car. I get 3% cash back on that. Everything, whether it's cash back or rewards points, I'm just trying to build that So I don't mind having I keep as much money as I can at not the brick and mortar, at the
Right.
online bank that I use. Even my emergency fund is over there. Now, if something does happen, it may take me about 2 days to physically get the money transferred to my local bank. But, I'll have to just be able to bridge that with my credit cards. But if that's an obstacle for anyone, I must admit it does take a little bit for you to get your money. But even now, with the potential of the interest rates will be coming down as the rates are adjusted throughout the year. But I mean, I've been glad to take advantage of the numbers like I was mentioning earlier, at least 4.3 to 5.1%. I don't know if either of you know of it, have, any higher rates than that. That's what I've been able to obtain through, CDs, money market account, high yield savings account. I've at least gotten that, and it's made a huge difference. In money that I've been holding for myself personally, as well as I even had to seek out a fund to set up for my business money because I've been wanting to buy another property, but it hasn't happened. But I have to make all the money that's sitting has to be working for me. So I've been glad to have this opportunity of these rates. And even if they do come down, I know that they will be higher than my local bank. So I'll be sticking with them with my, the online bank. But like I said, there is a little delay in getting the money, but I think that with the credit cards that I have, I can bridge the gap. Most likely, if I run into car repairs or house something with the house, I'll be able to use that to get through until I can do it. Do you think that people have a fear and a turnoff about the online banks?
Yeah, most people, unfortunately, in school, there is not necessarily, other than plot econ or some type of economics, there's no type of investing or anything like that that's taught in traditional schools. Now, you may have some things, but it's not necessarily to free you; it's to keep you in bondage. But that's a whole nother subject for another day. But I think most people's fear is they have not been taught, and if you're teaching someone or saying something to someone that, oh no, that can't be the case. Well, it is the case because I'm sure all of us on the panel are getting pretty good interest rates. I'm not going to complain. But a lot of people don't see it. And because it's online, they're like, well, I don't know. But let's be honest. I don't carry cash anymore. I just don't. I just
Mm-mm.
use my iPhone or my phone, and I pay with that. I have maybe $100 in my wallet, and that was just because I got some out
Mhm.
the ATM to go do something else. But I don't carry cash. Most people don't. So if you don't carry cash in your wallet, why would you care about if it's at a traditional bank or at an online bank that's going to give you more interest for holding your money and making it do what it do? I'm just saying.
Mhm. And of course, make sure that they are, I don't think
Oh,
anyone here
reputable.
FDIC
Right.
insured, because that's the same as going to the Bank of America or Chase or, Wells Fargo. These might Ally and Discover may not be as familiar to you, but if you're not already, this is something that you can take advantage of to build for savings. Now, savings and investing are two different things.
Right.
Don't just have all your money sitting in savings, but have enough for, what you potentially may need for emergencies, because we don't want you to run into debt either.
Right.
Or have to sell your investments at a time when you did not intend to because you're in such need of that money. So anything in the chat? Yes.
MT say I use online banking for years as my savings out of sight, out of mind, helped me with savings.
Mhm, mhm. So Robert, I heard you the other night, I think it was Wednesday night, you had a live going on and you were mentioning about membership. Can you give us any hints or any insights on what is going to be going on in your membership?
Oh well, I can say this because I want it to be a surprise for my members.
Okay.
Um, I'm just gonna say the people who join the membership by a certain time is going to be worth your while. Um, if if I can't give you 10 times the value of what your membership is, cancel it. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great, more than 10 times the value. As it relates to what specifically, I'm
Mhm.
working on some stuff. I I'm trying
Okay,
to
so
keep it under wraps.
it's still it's not open yet.
No, my memberships are actually open, but
Oh,
the
okay,
stuff that
okay.
I'm referring to,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right.
I already have some things completed, but once it drops, I'm sure the members will be pleasantly happy. I can say that if like I said, if you join my membership and you're
Okay.
not happy about it, cancel it. That's just, I'm sure I'm going to give you
Okay.
10 to 20 times the value. I'm
Okay.
sure.
All right. I guess I might have to come over there and join membership too, so I couldn't get any sneak peek on what's going to be going on. All
I'm
right. Oh, hey, I see. Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. I see Stock Brother has stopped in here.
Let's
Um,
get that paper. Every time
um,
I see his profile pictures pop up, that pops in my head. Let's get this paper.
uh-huh, uh-huh,
I'm with you, stock brother.
yeah. And I doubt he's here, but I just want to say it anyways. I want to congratulate Stocks with Josh for getting to 100,000 subscribers this week.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Um, so all right, fellas, you guys ready to wrap it up?
I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. Yes.
Well, I said it now, so is there any other questions or comments in the chat? And I hope I will reach out to Prez and Robert again next month to see if they would like to collab. This is episode 2 with the three of us, and I will check in with them again. If you guys have enjoyed this, please make sure to like and let us know in the chat. And potentially there will be an episode 3 in the future. Thanks for tuning in. Prez, you have some closing words for us?
Be sure to tune in tomorrow. Myself and Lisa J. Stocks will be doing a live stream tomorrow at 3 p.m. So be sure to tune in there. And don't forget to hit the like button, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe to all of our channels and show support. We greatly appreciate it. And if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die.
Okay. And you good, Robert? You have any closing words for today?
Oh no. I'm a fully monetized channel. I'm so excited that Lisa J, Stocks, and Prez the Investor, the goal, they need to be monetized, guys. They're giving value after value after value, banger after banger after banger. Listen, watch their content, subscribe to their channel, share it with your family members and friends. I wouldn't be up here with them if I didn't find value in what they said. I wouldn't, be in the bushes listening to their information or chiming in sometimes. Listen, they are giving value. This is not something that you're going to be able to get. I'm just going to be honest. Most people pay for the information they're giving you at no cost. I'm just going to keep it real with you. I've been around stocks since I was 18. A lot of people don't know my mother. My grandmother sold insurance. My dad sold insurance. So guess what? I sold insurance. My mother had her Series 6 and 7 investment license. I'm not going to go into all the details. I never got mine for one reason only, because certain things I wouldn't be able to say. So I never got them. But what I'm saying is I know when somebody's jiving you. I know when somebody's telling you information that's not true. They're giving you value. They're giving you banger information. And their whole heart and goal is to make sure you get to the next level. So if you have not already subscribed to their channel, go ahead and do so. I don't know why you're waiting. Go ahead and do so. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you guys so much. Like I said, I will check in with them to see if we will be coming, so we can coordinate and plan for our next co-stream together. I'm going to be live 2 times tomorrow, once on my channel, and I'm also going to be on From Lack to Legacy. So check out our community tabs. I noticed Robert's been posting a lot on his community tab. So just on days when we're not live or put out a video, there might be a quiz or some great information there also. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you, President. I will see you tomorrow, and the 3 of us will be back again sometime soon. All right, take care.